Hello and welcome to Farming Simulator 19. I'm Andy and this is Let's Play on Buy a Real Farm. So I'm gonna start off by actually gonna spread some fertilizer on part of field 10, which I sort of for some reason missed. But we have planted all of, I harvested all the fields. I have planted all the fields. Well, not except the ones with potatoes, because except those I planted those two. Well, I planted oilseed radish on all the other fields. I also installed the mod which is called why doesn't this work? Interesting. Can't get anything to work. Why is this not working? Oh. Yeah, sorry, lost my track of thought there. Anyway, so I planted oilseed radish on all the fields except the ones with potatoes on it, and that's because they're not harvested yet. They still haven't harvested potatoes. All the rest of them have oilseed radish for it, and the reason for that is from next year, 2021, there's some new demands on or rules set in place for eco farmers in Sweden, which means that at least half of the farmland needs to be set in some sort of winter crop. There's some other rules that like 1/10 need to be rotated, and during that time it needs to be set with some sort of other crop like grass or something, or winter crop. There was a bunch of new rules, but basically the big rule was that half of the land needs to be covered in cover crops before winter. So we covered almost everything except the potato fields, which we won't be able to have time to do, but it means we need to some sort of idea on that, plan for that. So this is the area which I missed for some reason, which is odd. Go plant it. Hope it's plantable. I just want to plant this. Sorry, plant it. I want to fertilize it. But I might as well fertilize it all actually. We'll wait with that bit. Get everything covered. Like so. Okay, good. need to set up my Y. For some reason, '19 shift. All the stuff isn't showing up in my joy to key thing. Actually, my shifter isn't showing up at all for some reason. It's really odd. No, here, okay. Interesting, okay. So, it's L3. Alt1. I'm sorry, I'm just setting up my joy to key here, which for some reason didn't work. So that would be Alt X. Would be I can't remember that. E. Space. Okay, well. Oh, it's not perfect. See that. Okay, sorry about this. Just for some reason, my joy to key software's dropped everything. Okay. So which else? We could fertilize field 8, 2 and 3 if we wanted to, since we're out and about anyway. What else? I got 92 bales of the fields, which I sold. I didn't actually do it manually, I hired someone to do it. So we got a little less for it, but still got like, not 9 grand, we got like 4 grand in total or something. That was good. What else have we done? Well, that's pretty much as we sold off the barley. We have installed a mod called what's the mod called? Names. Why am I so crap at names suddenly? The mod is called Realistic Seeder. Sorry, and so Realistic Seeder is actually a mod called, well, it's called Realistic Seeder of course, but it's a mod that lets you yeah, just want to see that. No, actually it's not fertilizing, is it? Yes, it is. Okay, so Realistic Seeder is a mod that means that you need to buy the correct seed for whatever crop you want to plant. So if you're going to plant wheat, you need to plant wheat, buy wheat seed, and it's awesome. But in the default version, it was just you bought the different seeds, but Kyoge, who make this brilliant realistic numbers mod, changed a bit, or changed the variable in the realistic seed mod, which means that you can actually now, hopefully when this is, you see this, it's been released, but you can actually now buy the correct amount of seed. So you need to plan your seed usage from how much seed you will probably use, or what kind of seed you're gonna plant, which is really awesome. I would say. So really cool addition to that mod. So you need realistic seeder mod, and then you also need Kyoga's this realistic numbers mod, whichever you want to use. I used the German version, which I modded heavily because I changed the numbers heavily. I didn't mod it because I'm not a modder and I don't know how to mod, but I did change the numbers in it so it would be more like the Swedish versions. What else? So set everything of that up also means you can sell your seed back if you want to in the latest version, which I have, which is pretty awesome. So if you have seed left over, you can actually resell it, or I would probably keep it for next year, but still. But it means that you don't. It's hard, and there's also you need to check the in the software or in the mod. You can check so that it how much seed you need to use. So you need to sort of calculate how many fields you want to plant and how much it's on those fields, and this sort of seed usage out of that, and buy the correct amount of seed. And then you need to put that in your seeder, then you can remove it from your seeder if you want to also. But which is pretty awesome. I mean, FS19 is actually getting sort of realistic, because I think I talked about this in an episode not too long ago. The fact that I wanted some sort of realistic seed usage, or that you needed to buy. It's like a few days later, a few weeks later actually, someone came up with the idea and made it into mod. That's really awesome. The modding community for Farming Simulator is actually kind of like, I used to think that it was sort of like better before, with more modders out there, but and I thought the modding community for FS19 thereby was sort of not as much. I think some of the modders that used to do FS17 stuff and that sort of things stopped, but others has come too, and they're really good. They're really good. We have a really good modding community, and we should show them appreciation, and I hope I do that. I don't nag about poor mods, and maybe I do actually. I'm gonna try from now on not to nag about poor mods, because still a poor mod will take a lot of effort from the modder. And there's some really good mods out there, so I'm going to try to focus on the really good mods, like the realistic numbers mod, which is a really good mod, I would say. Maybe this isn't fertilizing. No, actually I think it is fertilizing. Yeah, it is. So we're going to do, we're going to do this and this. Actually I should do this too, shouldn't I? Should do 7 and 9 also, if they're possible to fertilize. See, we'll need to go refill our fertilizer probably before we can do those. I should do all the fields, I guess. No, this is not a timing of when you would probably do this. Probably wouldn't fertilize it as heavy in the fall, because then you would probably rain off some of it, or a lot of it. to drive in the same spot. Spread some fertilizer there. What else is going on? Well, getting close to selling chickens. I should have sold them today, but I think they're still kind of small. I mean, I needed a mod. The pricing is a little off. I might want to sell them at a slightly higher price, slightly bigger state. So we're gonna sell them tomorrow, I think, in the game. So we'll return to that. Firstly, I'll just do this. I had a weirdest dream. I dreamt that my son was a teenager. And I was going to go and vote in an election, and we went there, and my son he brought some sort of dinner to eat, and he was eating it there, and you buy beer at the voting station, which was like really weird. And he's like, I thought it was inappropriate. It wasn't very, I didn't like that. I said that, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, Dad, now you can buy beer here, so I'm gonna buy beer and eat my dinner here." Like, okay, slightly weird, but okay. So that's a weird dream. I dreamt that I was voting and my son was drinking beer at the voting station. Which is very weird, actually. That's a weird dream, right? Anyone else has that sort of dream sometimes? I hope not. So 3, 7, 10, and 9. I think you can drive over the fields even though they have planted oilseed radish on them. They shouldn't be destroyed, right? I don't think so. Just need to, we're gonna do the number 3 field also, and then we're gonna refill the seeder. Not the seeder. We're gonna refill the fertilizer. Oh, I still have that set up here. A little weird. It's a good spread. I don't know if you can spread this fast in real life. I think you probably can. Seems fast, but I don't know. Missed a bit somewhere, but that's okay. Still have plenty of enough coverage for our rules, new rules, which is awesome. Well, awesome. But it's lots of things to think about doing farming, I guess, today. There are lots of things to think about before too, but it seems like farming is very interesting these days. Lots of things are happening, lots of good things, but also bad things. I read that some are that have a lot of issues with different crop protection resources that aren't working before, aren't working anymore because well, some herbicides and pesticides, mostly pesticides and that sort of stuff, isn't working because the crop that they want to avoid aren't resistant, basically. So a lot of crops are getting resistant, and then you can't really get rid of them. Which is sort of a big issue. So the idea that you would just continue developing pesticides and herbicides always and all get rid of the plants you want to get rid of, it's probably not going to work out. I had this friend some years ago. He was very liberal in his viewpoint, political viewpoint. And he had this idea that the science would always prevail, which is interesting. Science often prevails, but not always. And his idea was that science would basically find a way to fix the climate issues, which is interesting. But I guess he didn't really take into account the fact that economics probably don't want to fix the climate issue. So I wish you could do this from outside. That would be fun if you could like add different things from the outside instead from the inside. But you can't. So, but anyway, his point was that sort of you would science would prevail basically, and all issues would always be technically possible to solve. But it turns out that this was like 25 years ago, 20 years ago, no, 15 years ago, and it turns out that science can't really prevail always. That's a bit of an issue. So if you put that into farming context, his viewpoint would be that you can always make better pesticides, better herbicides, which will fix everything. But the issue is that you can't keep up with the plant, with the plant's own genetic evolution. That's the word. Evolving. Their evolution. Sorry, evolution is what I'm looking for. We can't keep up with their. We can't keep up with them, so and that's a bit of an issue because that's going to be problematic in the future. From my point of view, one thing I'm jumping in my context here, but one thing I find, if you pass a reel, I passed a reel. I was out cycling the other day and I passed a reel. I think it was a 6 series tractor, and that's so big. Okay, good. See if it actually does any difference. Yes, it does. Good. Okay. So I passed a real, I think a 6 series tractor, 6R series tractor. It was it was a 600 series class tractor, and it's a humongously big tractor. I want like, how come the small tractors in Farming Simulator look so big in real life? I mean, they're really big compared to cars. They are in the game too, but you get sort of used to sitting up high in these big tractors that you don't really think about how big they are. Does that make sense? Because they're so big. so that's just an interesting thought I had. Well, maybe not interesting at all. Maybe it's just a weird thought. Because these, if you stand beside the tractor in the game, it does look big. When you're sitting up here, you get used to it so fast that you don't realize how big they are. So we'll actually do 9 first, I think. So we have enough for that. Then we'll do 10 if we have anything left after 9. Okay, so field number 9 here. Usually go left there, so I'll go right this time. No, it's not fertilizing. Okay, so we can give this up. Go do field 10. Those are the ones that are left, yes. Because the other ones, they will be level, 3rd level when we cultivate the oilseed radish into the ground, so we don't have to do anything about them now. We'll do that in the spring, which will be our first real year of eco farming. Well, not real year eco farming, but it will be the first year where we will actually grow and sell eco products. So that's cool. That's always cool. Thank you. This is fertilizing, yeah, this is fertilizing to the next level. That will be a bit in the middle there where it doesn't work, but we can't have everything always. So when we're done with this, we need to go and fast forward like 24 hours so we can get our chickens done. So there's chickens left, and then we're gonna sell those and see how much profit we make from 13,500 chickens. That's a lot of chickens, right? Maybe we'll do that on the, we'll see if we have time for it today, or we'll do it on the next episode. We might do it on the next episode, depending on where we are today. I need to cover this little spot up here somewhere. This square, and then that's all we can do on the fields as they are now. So we'll turn this off. New traffic coming, so we can go back to the farm. Let's see, we'll get the sort of chickens down then, I think. We're going to check the timer. I think we can fit them in. I know I keep breaking for all the traffic rules, but so does everyone else, so okay. have to remember that during autumn, or maybe soon, the fields that I lease gets unleased. I need to release them. Release them. Release. I don't. I can stop talking. I'm not making much sense, am I? So this row here is going up. It'll be a nice row of trees here, protecting our field from the wind and our other fields here. That's why they usually planted all those trees. If you know, in the countryside, you can see the bunch of trees planted. A lot of times they were, at least in Sweden, they were planted there to reduce the wind erosion on the fields, which is pretty cool, I think. So, and there's some really beautiful ones. There's a place called, I can't remember the exact place, but it's pretty close to where they make the Väderstad odd stuff, which are in Farming Simulator, and it's a place where then you go on the highway or freeway, whatever you want to call it, and you go by this place. It's a beautiful row of trees, and they usually plant canola there, and so during the years they plant canola, and you go by this really cool place. It's so beautiful. I think I stopped there for many years ago, and took a picture of it, so I have a picture somewhere on my computer, but that's pretty awesome. We should have cleaned this, but I'll do it next time I use it. Lower that. We'll remove the PTO. Remove that, and we'll look forward here. Okay. I should probably stop there. So on the next episode, we'll do chickens. I'll try to do chickens. I'm gonna leave here, stop here. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Andy. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this episode, please hit the like button, leave a comment or share. Have a great day everyone. Take care. Bye bye.